Hey everyone, it's Bertha here, and I'm here in the Smart Review for Good, Bad, Ugly, the new film directed by Adik Ravichandran and starring a plethora of stars that includes Ajit Kumar, Trisha, Arjun Das, Prasanna, Sunil, Prabhu, Priya Prakash Warrior, and many, many others. Now, you have to go into this movie with a certain type of mindset. If you're going into this movie with the mindset that this is going to be an award-winning drama or award-winning type of action film, which is very heightened in terms of its story, in terms of its direction, in terms of its acting, you are going to be utterly and devastatingly disappointed. If you watched the interviews and if you knew prior to this film being released that Adik Ravichandran is a huge Ajit Kumar fan and he specifically made this movie in accordance to his fandom for the actor, then if you go in with that mindset knowing that this movie is a fanboy sambhavam, then you will thoroughly enjoy this movie. I mean this very lightly. This is a real experiment in terms of showcasing an individual's fandom towards one star. And I give this movie a 6.5 out of 10, mainly due to the fact of the dedication that Adik Ravichandran has towards his fandom, towards his love, towards Ajit Kumar. So, if I were to go through this movie in an analytical way, it wouldn't work. Because again, this is a movie strictly for Ajit Kumar fans. Even though I am an Ajit Kumar fan, I did appreciate the fact that Adik Ravichandran put in all these references. Like, I'm telling you, he is throwing in references through photos, through songs, through some of the costumes and some of the clothes that Ajit Kumar is wearing, some of the sunglasses that he's wearing, even certain haircuts, certain dialogues, certain references to the movies that he's done, some of the co-stars that he's had in the past. It's the amount of detailing in terms of showcasing all of Ajit Kumar's filmography, or majority of his filmography, in this movie is insane. I'll give Adik Ravichandran a lot of credit there. I'm not really a big fan of the fanboy sambhavam genre. I think that if I really wanted to say what films are really good in terms of fan service films, I would say films like Peta, Vikram, I guess, those are the main two films that I would say were perfect fan service movies towards that specific actor. This is a perfect experiment in terms of doing the extreme of doing a fan service film for a specific actor. And again, Adik Ravichandran loves Ajit Kumar so much. And you can tell, while watching this movie, there's a lot of situations and a lot of sequences where you're really thinking to yourself, man, this guy really, really, really is a huge fan of this actor. And it's commendable. He did not cheat the audience by saying in interviews that this is a revolutionary film in terms of storytelling, that it is full of twists and turns and so on and so forth. He literally and legit said in almost every single interview that I watched of his that this movie is specifically for fans just like himself, and specifically for fans of Ajit Kumar and that type of genre of film. So while watching Good, Bad, Ugly, it is pretty much an experience. It's a fever dream. Like Mark Anthony, this movie is on steroids in terms of its color palettes, in terms of its sound, in terms of the sets. Everything is extravagant on steroids and huge in terms of scale. And again, the showcasing of the main actor is on a grand scale in comparison to Mark Anthony. I think that in Mark Anthony, it was more of S.J. Surya's kind of show, whereas here, it's pretty much through and through Ajit Kumar's show. Ajit Kumar is having so much fun here. This is probably the first time I've seen him kind of laughing and goofing off and just having fun with the role. He's a great actor. I think that people forget that once upon a time, he was doing films like Vali, Villain, Veralaru, ironically all titles starting with V. And even in films like Billa, even in films like Mangata, he showcased great acting in those commercial-based films. And I feel like in recent times, he's just gone into this kind of zone of just action. Vida Muyurchi is not an excellent film, but I thought his acting in that film was excellent. Here, it seems like it's kind of one of those movies where he just did it for his fans and did it for the sake of, having fun and enjoying the experience of just having a goofy kind of like over the top film. He really buys into this character, really buys into the story, and it seems like, he's allowed Adik Ravichandran to showcase him in a certain way, and I commend him for that. Arjun Das is probably the second biggest plus in this whole movie. He, alongside Ajit Kumar, is having a lot of fun here. Again, just like Ajit Kumar in recent times, Arjun Das has done certain kind of roles that are very similar to each other for the most part. Ever since Kaidi, he's kind of done, the low bass kind of tone voice, and he's doing these like rough and kind of rough around the edges kind of like villain anti-hero roles. And again, it's kind of nice to see him, even though he's the villain here, he's over the top, he's kind of goofy, and he's, almost like a Looney Tunes villain in a sense. And he did a great job. And again, the sets are really cool. You could tell the Maitri movie makers, I think that's the production name, they spent top dollar in terms of everything. The clothes that Ajit Kumar is wearing and all the other characters are wearing, the houses that they're in, the cars that they're driving, the sets, the locations that they're at, all using top dollar production value, budget. That's the biggest pluses. But yeah, if I were to give you the bad and the ugly side of this movie, it's that if you're just a normal cinema goer, if you're just wanting to watch a Tamil cinema movie that is, a coherent story, there's not really a coherent story here. It's just pretty much a average revenge. I don't even know if it's a revenge. I don't know. For me, especially as a person that loves stories within the films that Tamil cinema has, there's not really a big story here. That's why I was kind of disappointed with Adik with this movie, because again, Mark Antony, I know a lot of people don't love that movie. I loved it. I thought it was very entertaining, very over the top, and did a great job of mixing in sci-fi with this grandiose commercial / masala kind of genre. Now here, it's pretty much a celebration of one actor inside this grandiose commercial / masala type of genre type of film. And I was kind of hoping that there was going to be a little bit of a better story here. I thought, in the beginning of the movie, they say that welcome to the universe of GBU, or what was it, AK? I forgot. But yeah, they say welcome to the universe of this specific film. I was thinking that, maybe the references of Billa and Mangata and all these other films were going to be utilized in a better way in terms of maybe like saying that, hey, maybe this character is related to, the characters that he's done in the past or whatever. But yeah, either way, if you're a fan of Ajit Kumar, this is a blessing for you. This is such a fun watch for you. But if you're just an average moviegoer, you're going to be highly disappointed. I guarantee you. Just go into this movie thinking that it's going to be Mark Antony on steroids, and then you'll probably enjoy it a little bit more. But yeah, don't go into this movie thinking it's going to be like Vida Muyurchi in terms of being a story first kind of film. But yeah, I give this movie 6.5 out of 10. If I had one plea, I really hope that, again, this movie's making a lot of money and it's destined to make a lot of money. I hope that Adik Ravichandran, if he works with Ajit Kumar again, I hope that they don't make a movie in this kind of nature again. I feel like this one-time, fan service kind of film is fun enough. It is nice, cool, you showcase your fandom. But I hope that the next film, even if it's going to be loud and boisterous, I hope that film does a better job in terms of focusing more of a story and more on character development, so on and so forth. Maybe just a more focused film, even if it's something like a Mark Antony where it's mixing in a genre with this kind of grandiose kind of nature. Maybe, and hopefully, it will be a better film in terms of the quality in comparison to Good, Bad, Ugly. Again, this film is pretty much a mashup kind of fan service film that is strictly for fans of Ajit Kumar. So don't go into this movie thinking that this is going to be a highly, heightened type of film. This is strictly for Ajit Kumar fans. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10. And once you've seen Good, Bad, Ugly, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the film.